Tomorrow's the big day. The Zenless Zone 2.3 special program, Memories of Dreams Bygone, is finally happening, and I want to walk you through everything we can realistically expect from it. I'll cover the live stream schedule, what time it's airing depending on where you are, the banners and new agents that should be showcased, buffs to returning characters, events and new content we're likely to see, the community buzz and controversy around Lucia's design, and of course the general rewards that Hoyoverse usually drops during these streams. Think of this as a chill conversation, where we piece together leaks, credible sources, and historical patterns to get a full picture before the show goes live tomorrow. Save up to 23% on the current banners at lootbar.gg. Just enter your UID and server. The link is in the description. Let's start with the timing, because a lot of people were surprised when the announcement dropped. The special program is airing on September 29th at 19:30 UTC+8. That means if you're in North America, it's pretty early in the morning, around 6:30 a.m. Eastern. For Europe, it's just past noon, and for Asia, it's a nice evening stream. The real surprise, though, is the day, Monday. Usually, Hoyoverse runs these live streams on Fridays or Saturdays, so this shift confused a lot of players at first. But if you've been paying attention, it actually makes sense. China has a long national holiday running from October 1st to 8th, so the team clearly wanted to get the program out before that break. It's one of those scheduling quirks where the global audience feels the ripple effect of local holidays. Now, before we get into the actual content, we need to talk about the community's reaction, because it's been intense. The moment the special program key art went live, everyone noticed one thing immediately. Lucia's redesign is official. She's shown in her new outfit and proportions, which means those changes from beta aren't just placeholders, they're here to stay. And this has completely split the community. On one side, you have players who feel like her original design had a really unique, mage-like vibe, with satyr ears and goat-like eyes, something that stood out from the usual lineup. The new design, in their eyes, makes her feel more generic, more in line with characters like Yixuan, with bigger chest proportions and toned-down fantasy elements. Comments like, "It's so over" and "Underboob bros lost" became memes overnight. On the other side, there are people who either don't mind or actually like the changes, saying her proportions look more balanced, and at the end of the day, she's still going to be a strong unit that synergizes with Rupture and Aftershock teams. Some even pointed out how much work it must have taken for the devs to reanimate cutscenes, update splash art, and edit all her 3D assets in such a short time. Personally, I think both sides have valid points. It's disappointing to see features people were excited about removed, but it's also true that she'll still play an important role in the meta. The special program tomorrow will probably be our first real look at her in action with this finalized design, so maybe seeing her gameplay in motion will shift some opinions. So, what banners can we expect the stream to highlight? Version 2.3 is bringing 2 new S ranks and a new A rank, alongside a rerun with buffs. In Phase 1, we're looking at Lucia alongside Manato. Lucia, as mentioned, is an S-rank ether support, and her kit revolves around generating dream value and entering a dream state to boost her allies' maximum HP. What makes her stand out is that she doesn't need to stay on field to contribute. She can consume dream value while off-field to trigger aftershock effects whenever your active character lands hits. That's a big deal because it positions her as a backbone for Rupture teams, providing both survivability and consistent damage. Triggers in the background. It reminds me of Ruin Mei or Robin from Honkai Star Rail completely reshaping archetypes. Lucia could easily do the same here. Then there's Manato, the A-rank Fire and Rupture agent. His gameplay is centered around building flame points, and once he's ignited, his combos become much more explosive. It's less about complexity and more about raw accessibility. He might not be as flashy as the S ranks, but for players who don't want to pull every premium banner, Manato looks like a very solid addition, especially since Rupture teams are clearly being pushed this patch. Phase 2 shifts the spotlight to Yodani and the rerun of Soldier Zero Anby. Yodani is an S-rank Ice Rupture agent with one of the more daring playstyles we've seen so far. Her damage output actually increases the lower her HP drops, scaling up to around 80% when she's under 40% health. To make that less suicidal, she also gains damage reduction at low HP and can regenerate when she's off-field if she falls below 30%. She even spends a portion of her HP on charged attacks to deal heavier damage, which really drives home the whole high-risk, high-reward identity. For players who enjoy walking the edge, she'll be exciting, though for more casual players, her self-sacrificing style might feel stressful. And then there's Ambi, who isn't just rerunning, she's getting buffs. This is one of the biggest shakeups of version 2.3. Her special attack combo window has been expanded from 0.84 seconds to a full 2 seconds, which means you no longer need lightning-fast reflexes to string Azure Flash together. You can even weave in basic attacks and still trigger her enhanced special attack, which makes her gameplay far smoother. On top of that, whenever allies hit an enemy with an aftershock mark, Anby immediately gains a stack of her resource with a shared 5-second cooldown. This gives her synergy with the team instead of making her do all the work alone. She's also gaining a new follow-up called White Thunder, which can trigger after enhanced specials or after certain combos of Azure Flashes. If you have her second Mindscape unlocked, she'll even auto-cast White Thunder regularly, trimming down on repetitive inputs. And finally, her aftershocks now deal an extra 5% critical damage, giving her a flat damage boost. All of this combines to make her not only easier to play, but also more rewarding and synergistic. And honestly, it sets an exciting precedent. If Hoyoverse is willing to rework older units, maybe more characters could get similar polish down the line. Beyond banners, the special program should also showcase upcoming events and new content. The new boss, Stray Hunter, is expected to arrive in Notorious Hunt, with an elemental weakness to ice and resistance to fire. You can already see how this is designed to promote Yodani, since she'll be the perfect counter. Event-wise, there's Lucia's personal story mission, plus some experimental modes like Wild Dreams Still Linger, where you can control monsters in set battles, and Snap, Glitz, and Gamble, which spices things up with themed buffs. Exploration is getting an expansion with the GQ Handbook, and lore fans will want to pay attention to the Inverted Torch of Nightwatch, which sounds like one of those darker story tie-ins Hoyoverse likes to tuck into patches. And let's not forget cosmetics. Viven is heavily rumored to be getting a new skin this version. Skins are usually shown off with splash art and 3D previews during the program, and based on how Hoyoverse handles them in other games, we can expect it to either be an event reward or a shop edition. Finally, let's talk about general rewards, because every special program comes with a little something extra. Tomorrow, you can definitely expect the usual 3 redemption codes, which typically add up to around 300 polychromes plus some materials. These codes usually expire within 24 hours, so it's worth claiming them quickly. On top of that, Hoyoverse almost always rolls out a 7-day login event tied to the new patch, with polychromes, boupons, or tapes as the rewards. And of course, there's maintenance compensation. 300 polychromes delivered straight to your inbox once servers come back online. None of this will be as flashy as the banners or new boss fights, but they're the little boosts that everyone looks forward to. Are you planning to pull for Lucia despite the design change, or are you saving for Yodani's high-risk playstyle? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I'd love to hear your plans. And if you want more detailed breakdowns like this one, make sure to subscribe, because I'll be covering everything that gets revealed tomorrow as soon as the program wraps up. Save up to 23% on the current banners at lootbar.gg. Just enter your UID and server. The link is in the description.